Welcome to another episode of the Best Damn Coach podcast, where in fact this week we're talking about just that, being the best damn coach. And I want to talk about this identity and how important it is to being a thriving practitioner in so many senses. And one of the reasons I want to focus in on that is because I'm going to be hosting a live workshop coming up on August 29th at 10 a.m. PT, where I'm going to be sharing the secrets to becoming the best damn coach that you can be for your people. And one of the reasons I've really owned this identity as part of our brand is because I've had so many conversations with coaches. And one of the things they say is, Amanda, I just want to be the best coach possible. I want to be a better coach. I want to know that my clients are nurtured and taken care of and get exactly what they came for. And so I'm going to be sharing more in-depth strategies inside of my live workshop on August 29th. So you can head on over to amanda-walker.com/best to sign up. And today is going to give you kind of a surface level conversation around what we're going to be diving into more deeply in the workshop. So if you love what I talk about today, if it resonates with you, then definitely this free workshop is for you. It was like the middle of July-ish, and I had just finished working out at the CrossFit gym where I both coached and worked out at the time. July in Arizona is freaking miserable. It's 100 and almost 20 degrees. And if you've never walked into a CrossFit gym, something you should know about them is they do not have air conditioning. And so there's these like literally big ass fans. They're called big ass fans and swamp cools to try to keep some, sense of weather in there that's somewhat doable. And after you're done, you're drenched in sweat. And all I could think about was, I want to get my kids and get out of here and go jump in the pool. And so I'm trying to grab all my stuff and jam out of the gym as fast as possible. And it is at that moment that I hear from coming in kind of the other entry of the gym, Amanda, Amanda. And I turn around and it's one of my amazing clients. And she's wanting me to stop. And she's bringing along two other girls with her at the time. And she's like, you guys, you've got to meet Amanda. And she proceeds to just honestly just gush over the work we've done together and how pivotal it's been for her and how grateful and how these ladies absolutely have to work with me. And you guys know that are longtime listeners, I was a teacher. I had zero marketing experience. I had no business knowledge in the beginning. And I was new to running my own business. So I had kind of this resistance inside of me of like, had a little imposter, like, am really who she say I am? Like, is that possible for me to be that person? Is this repeatable? That was like always kind of a fear I had. Is it possible that I'm going to get these results and be able to keep going with these clients, which is what I hear from so many people. And so it was in that moment, that was a tiny moment, a tiny glimmer, that I had this massive light bulb aha moment. And it was something like this: if I'm the best damn coach possible, then I'm never going to have to worry so much about the marketing and the business strategy. If I just work on serving the hell out of my people, then just like this coach, they're going to bring more to me. They're going to gush about me. Their results are going to speak for themselves. And I'm going to build my business on that. And truthfully, that's what's helped me build a business from scratch to over 7 figures, and now teach more coaches how to do the same and how to embody that. And so what I've had to do over the years is not be the imposter, right? The first year of social media for me was pictures of my food. Like, that's not going to get me anywhere. That's not going to help me make impact. That's not embodying the person that my clients really want to be. And so today I want to talk about how to make that shift to really owning and leaning into and stepping into the belief and the identity that you are the best damn coach. In fact, you guys, I have words, I have necklaces, I have print, I have pieces of things that surround me consistently so that I am reminded of this identity. And in fact, next to me is these giant words on my whiteboard that say, I am the GOAT. I am the greatest of all time. And that does not have to be something that you believe. It's something that I have to believe. And so I want to talk more deeply about why it is critical that you become that person for your clients, and why I'm diving more into this in my workshop and giving really specific examples. Number one, that where this becomes, critical is when you own the identity of something, then it literally soaks through and it permeates every action that you take. And so I'm going to do like a compare and contrast. If you are a coach right now that's thinking like, yeah, I could probably coach some clients, and yeah, I could make some impact. I hope I can get them results. I hope that, in the end they tell more people about me. I think about what it would like to be your client. I think about, if I could hear those words uttered in your mind, would I really believe that you were the best coach possible for me? Right? I want you to think about that. If your clients knew what you were telling yourself, would they want to continue to work with you? Would they have hired you? And so your mind might be saying, yeah, but Amanda, I haven't coached enough people, or I've had this one client that didn't work out, or I've had a few clients that didn't really work out, right? And your mind wants to kind of collect towards the negative. That's how we're wired. That's our bias. We're wired for negative bias. What I want you to understand, though, about that mindset is that it is not going to help you coach at the highest level possible. It is not going to give your clients the best results possible. So choosing to allow your self-belief to be at a low energetic state is actually causing you to do more work in your business. It's like what I call, it's putting whipped cream on poop. You can do all the fancy strategies. You can do all the fancy templates on Canva. You can go to the networking event. But if you don't know how to step into the room and own the idea that you are the best possible for the niche you serve, then you're always going to be working harder and not smarter. And I see this happen time after time. I see my clients, I talk about kind of in this, in I'll be talking about it more about the invisible coach, about the fraud coach, and the imposter coach, and how these things actually resonate, or prevent some of my clients before they begin working with me, how they prevent them from really owning and stepping into that identity. And I'll be talking more about this, of course, in the workshop. But when we lack this self-belief and this identity, it truly does force us to work harder. And who wants to work harder? I want to coach one client and help that become 3 clients, because I serve so many amazing, such a high level value that by coaching one, she brings me 3, right? Or by speaking on one stage, I am like brought in, tens and 20 of clients. And so much about coaching is the identity. And just to define identity, right? It's who you believe yourself to be on the inside. And again, nobody else has to believe it, but you have to ask yourself, what can I do differently in my day to day that helps me own that identity? For me, one of those things is the way I dress, the way I wear lipstick, the way I start my day, the things I tell myself, the workouts I do, the way I fuel my body. I literally want to be a walking advertisement. I want people to see me and know that I am who I say I am and that I walk the talk. That does not mean I'm perfect. Totally agree. Perfect. There's no space for perfect people here. But truly, what it means is that everything about the identity I want to become, because if I think about that future vision, right, let's future pace ourselves. And this is a question that I'm going to leave you with on this identity piece is the coach you want to become. What does she do and say and think differently? Like the 100K coach, the 1 million coach. Does she go and coach her people ill prepared? Does she step into a coaching session doubting herself? Does she go to a networking event and not walk the part and talk the part? My guess is she doesn't. And so just ask yourself, where's my opportunity to own that identity? And I want to speak to a client inside the BDC. I'm going to give some examples. One of my clients, uh, really struggled with the identity piece and that question. She would say, yeah, I don't know how to do that. We would talk about, okay, what are your next steps? And she said, I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to do that. I said, that's true. None of us do, in fact. when we're in the beginning, emerging stages of beginning a coaching practice, or we're about to do something different in our business or with a client we've never done, we're not supposed to know, you guys. That's part of the process. But then what I want you to ask yourself is, the woman who's already done it, the woman that already has that level of success, what do you think she does? How does she operate differently? And when I gave her that question that I'm offering now, literally, you guys, everything began to change. She hosted her first workshop. She hosted multiple workshops. She started attending networking events. She cared differently. She started caring about the way she showed up. She started to introduce herself with purpose, and she started signing clients. Right? So everything about this is identity work. The next thing I want to talk about when it comes to becoming the best damn coach you can be is understanding how marketing actually works. When we start a business, our clients aren't necessarily waiting for us to introduce ourselves to the world. I remember when I built my website, in the beginning, I built my website watching YouTube videos, and I was so afraid to hit publish. I was so afraid to be seen, and I was still like lacking that identity, connection with that identity. And I hit publish, you guys, and nobody was on my website. There's a way in Google Analytics you can track who's live on your website, and nobody goes to it. Right. And I had this idea that I'm just going to say I'm a coach and put myself out there and say I'm running a business, and people are going to flock to me. Unfortunately, I hate to break it to you, this does not happen. And this is where I see a lot of coaches sitting, is they're just waiting for people to find them. And you guys, this does not happen. You must go to where your people are. You must go to where you are not known and become known. And if you don't believe in the idea that you are the best coach for your people, then you are not going to go do those places. You're not going to go to those places. We talk again about this inside the BDC often when clients are like, I'm not getting the conversions, or I'm not getting the sales calls. And I'll say, when was the last time you went to where you weren't known? And they say, well, I haven't in 3 months. And we dive into why. And it's unpacking the identity. It's unpacking the belief. If you don't believe you can offer value in those places, you're not going to show up to them. You're not going to go to the corporate place and talk about what you can offer. You're not going to go to the networking event. You're not going to host the workshop. So again, do you see how, if we haven't built a foundation of believing we are the GOAT and the best, then it impacts every action that we take here on out. And a great example of this was another BDC member. She was struggling with this notion of kind of being retracted from her ideal client. And so we brainstormed, where are your people? And it was a laundry list. And what we found is that her people are hanging out in Facebook communities often. And so I gave her the homework of finding 10 communities and going to introduce herself. And I wanted her to just check those 10 communities every week and just see how she can provide value. And so what began to happen is people engaged. And when people engaged, they started following her Facebook account. They started sending her private messages, which led to conversations, which led to sales calls, which led to clients. Again, identity. I am the best damn coach helps me deepen the thoughts about who I am. The feelings are excitement, confidence, and we take action accordingly. Another amazing example is a client inside the BDC who was actually sharing a business with someone else, but she had this deep feeling inside that she was just meant to break free and follow this specific niche. When she came to me inside the BDC, by the way, she had one client. You guys, I think she's up to 15 to 20 clients. And while that is fantastic, her clients are having results because she believes she could do this on her own, first off. And she began to really look more deeply at the lack of belief around her ability to curate results. And so through the work of inside the community, now she has a sales funnel that's bringing in consistent leads, and she's constantly sharing how amazing her clients are doing, right? And that belief begets more belief. And the thing about being a masterful coach, you guys, is masterful coaches are masterful marketers. And one of the reasons is because you know your client so well. When you're in there with your client, when you know their external and internal pains and their external and internal desires, it's like you can embody them. It's like you're in their mind and in their brain. And when you know them so well, you then can market so well because marketing just becomes flawless because you're like, yeah, I know what my ideal client needs and wants and is struggling with. And so it becomes very authentic. If you are the best damn coach, you actually don't need a lot of strategy or as much strategy. This is that working smarter and not harder. It is my belief, and it's also evidence through my clients because I see them, is that when you're a masterful coach, you market well. And then you'll never be without clients. In fact, those clients become your walking billboard, right? Your coaching practice is full, you have a wait list, you're in demand, you have all these things up ticking. And so if you're listening to this and you're like, I want that, I want to have a full client roster or at least a few clients. I want to feel confident in my skills. I want to believe that this is sustainable. Then A, I hope this episode gives you that little kickstart. And B, if you want more of this discussion, I definitely encourage you to join our workshop on the 29th. Head on over to amanda-walker.com/best because no doubt by the end, you're going to walk away feeling confident. You're going to feel ready to coach your clients without feeling like an imposter. And you're going to have more clarity in how to get there, which is the most important part. So I'll leave you with this. It's that the market and many quote unquote business coaches out there sell you this, that to be successful in your business, it's about 80% strategy and 20% mindset. I think it's skewed. It's actually the other way around. To be successful in business, it's about 70 to 80% mindset and identity work and owning the fact that you're the best damn coach. And the strategy stuff falls into place. You can pick a strategy and stick with it and rinse and repeat. And I really love simple in business. Trust me, I've done complicated. And the more work I've done, the more I realize that simple is actually quite the answer. I had to deepen the certainty of my offers and my belief in myself. And then everything else fell so much more simple in the process. So I hope today resonates with you. Again, the way this podcast grows is by you sharing it with other people that you feel like would resonate. So if there's another coach or practitioner or mentor in your world that you think would benefit, I'd love for you to share this episode with them. And I also want to highlight again, we're working to grow our YouTube channel. I'll put our YouTube channel in the links in the show notes. And you get to see me, you get to see the physiology, you get to see my guests when I have guests on here as well, because we put the full video on now so you can see the entire interaction. And if we do any screen sharing, that's really a cool thing too, because you can see some of those as well. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. I hope you coach masterfully and with so much confidence, and I will see you on the next episode.